Good evening and welcome to tonight's special coverage of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah. May Allah protect and bless him. A visit to the United Kingdom that reflects an important milestone in Kuwaiti-British relation. I'm your host Abdurrahim Al-Awadi, and tonight we'll be talking more about this visit and how significant it is with experts in the studio and from the UK. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, embarked today, January 14th, on a significant visit to the United Kingdom that will last until January 16th. At a personal invitation from His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. This high-level visit not only is a testament to the strong and long-lasting relationship between both countries, but also an opportunity to deepen ties in key areas. Over the next few days, His Highness the Emir will engage in crucial discussion aimed at strengthening cooperation. Additionally, cultural exchange will play a central role with exciting initiative to showcase the heritage of both countries. Stay tuned.
In support of the Kuwaiti-British relations and strategic partnership, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, visits Scotland in the United Kingdom in response to a private invitation from His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Welcome to tonight's special coverage of His Highness the Emir's visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III of the UK and Northern Ireland. Let me first introduce our guest tonight. He's a distinguished researcher in Kuwaiti-British relations. He dedicated most of his career to studying and analyzing the deep-rooted ties between Kuwait and the United Kingdom. His expertise and insights into the evolving relationship between the two nations make him a key voice in today's discussion. It's Mr. Isa Yahya Dashti. Welcome, and it's a pleasure having you here with us today.
My pleasure. That's my pleasure.
Mr. Dashti, let's get into it. How does His Highness the Emir's visit to Scotland reflect the importance of Kuwait diplomacy strategy with the UK?
First, when you see this, the official visits for His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, we can see this is the first official visit of His Highness as Emir of Kuwait. Like we all know, he's have been 3 visits to United Kingdom as a Crown Prince in 2022-23, and this is one of the important stations of our long relation between the two countries. As you know, this is the royal visits and the Emiri visits. It's have a very major aim and reflect of our relation to give our relation more strength and more support and more power to continuous for the future. We can see the last visits of the late Emirs of Kuwait, all that's the visits from the 1919, from starting with His Highness the Sheikh Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah to His Highness now Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah. Each visits, it's have something special in these visits to give the great support and the great continuous for this lovely and great relation between the two countries. And what the special things is, as of these visits, we have the first Emir visits to the Scotland, and it's really have the speciality of this visits, and we are looking forward for what happened in these visits and the result of this visit next few days.
Well, Mr. Isa will talk into much detail about today's His Highness Emir's visit. But for starters, let's talk about what specific areas of cooperation do you think could prioritize during this visit?
See, there is many cooperations. It's been between Kuwait and United Kingdom from the beginning of our relation, and in each something, it's anything new or a new field in the work, in the life, in the diplomatic, in other fields of what the two countries they are needed. We are meeting together to have to cooperate in this new things that happen that's in our life. But when we are reading for the last 2 years between the most main cooperation between the two countries, there is an agreement that signed between the two countries in the defense, in the culture, in the development of the civil service, in the gardening, and also the most important thing, the culture thing that's what I'd like to say about the culture cooperation. That's the soft power between the two countries. So the many fields there is happened cooperated between the two countries, and I think the two governments and the two royals families and the two people, they are taking very much care to cooperate for what have an advantage to the development of each two countries.
You mentioned earlier that this is the first trip for His Highness Emir to Scotland. What role does Scotland play in the broader context of the Kuwaiti-British relation, and how is it distinct from the rest of the UK?
Right. As everybody knows, Scotland is a part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and North Ireland, and as everybody knows, the love story between the Kuwaiti people and London, especially, and there is another a love story with Scotland, and we can know the especially very big rules with the Kuwaitis people or the Kuwaiti cultures, especially in the culture and educate, and in many other cooperating in the trade, in the custom. There is many of the experts and many of work it's joined together the two countries. The Scotland, it's as a part, it's a lovely part, full of history, full of culture. I don't think this is the two main points that sharing with what's the Kuwaitis, they are love it. Many of cultures, many of points we are sharing and working with Scotland, with Kuwait, especially like I told you in the educate and in the culture side.
There's so much to cover during today, and we'll talk maybe more a little on the cultural side later on. But Mr. Isa, let's pause here for a moment to show a report that looks at the importance of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, visit to the United Kingdom, and how it serves a pivotal moment in strengthening Kuwaiti-British relation. And then we'll continue.
His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, departed the state of Kuwait with his accompanying official delegation, heading to the United Kingdom at the invitation of His Majesty King Charles III, showcasing the importance of the bilateral relations between the two countries. Kuwaiti-British relations have developed over the years after having been founded 125 years ago, in the light of high-level agreements, initiatives, and visits aiming at promoting strategic bonds between both countries. The beginning of diplomatic relations between Kuwait and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland began with Sheikh Mubarak al-Kabir signing the 1899 Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement. Throughout those decades, cooperation and strategic partnerships took place. British merchants established their offices in Kuwait, while British oil companies contributed to oil discovery in Kuwait. The exceptional relations between the two nations had thrived for more than a century and branched out to include various fields, including trade and investment, defense, cybersecurity, education, culture, and international development. These relations were established through mutual solidarity and continued cooperation, as both nations are committed to addressing global challenges such as climate change, regional security, and economic diversification. With the foundation built on trust, shared values, and common goals, the future of the Kuwait British relationship will prosper.
Welcome back once again to tonight's special coverage of His Highness the Emir, may Allah protect and bless him's visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III. Still with us in the studio, Mr. Isa Dashti, distinguished researcher in Kuwaiti British relations. Mr. Isa, we talked about generally the visit and relationship. Let's now move more about the cultural side of the visit. Now, cultural exchange often highlighted with shared value. How do you see the United Kingdom, Scotland and Kuwait showcasing their unique tradition and deepening their relationship?
See, our cultural relation between the two countries is so special, and that's what we are showing that in the last year when we are celebrating in the 125 years of partnership. So we show many stations through our activities and events, through the exhibitions, the lectures about the culture cooperate between the two countries, and how the Britain culture its affect and become our part of our Kuwaiti part culture that we are showing through all our work last year. I think I remember that we are doing more than 12 events and lecture and exhibition about how the powerful of the lecture that affect and give a support for the two relation. The exchange of the culture, we have it here. We take a part of the Britain culture now with the modern life, with the new social media. I think the Kuwaiti culture now, it's step by step. It's transferred to the United Kingdom through the new generations. It's be more easier. For our relation and our culture exchange with Scotland, we have in many fields, many parts, many cooperation in different specializes, especially in the education. You know, because many of our students they are studying at very high quality and great universities and institutes in Edinburgh or in Glasgow or in general in Scotland, and this when they are coming back, they are bring their what they are studying and their experience that they are taking from Scotland, and from which area from Scotland they are brought it here to Kuwait with them. And this is how the exchange of the culture it's happened through the small points between the two countries.
You mentioned earlier the events, especially the 11 events last year that was done, and bridging the cultural gap between the two nations. How does the historical context of Kuwaiti and the British relation influence modern interaction with Scotland? And are there any historical ties that stand out for you?
The Scotland, there is the much events or actions happen between the two countries, but we spoke about the general relation. We speak about the United Kingdom of Great Britain and North Ireland, but there is some of the mention of Scotland or some areas like Edinburgh. We can see it in our history or in our heritage, especially for the royal visits of the Duke of Edinburgh to the Kuwait, for like the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, when he's visiting here in Kuwait in 1979, and the late visit for His Royal Royal Highness Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, also when he's visiting last year in December.
And he personally gave him a tour.
A
person
tour in the Dixon House, the
Yes.
Culture Center, the former British politic agent house in Kuwait, and also the National Council of Art and Literature. They are published a book about the book titled its name Edinburgh and Kuwait, and they are showing the main stations and the most famous photos and actions that's related between Kuwait and Scotland. And I was preparing this booklet, and we are publish it in the memory, the first memory of the pass away of the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. So there is a many relations, and also there is a many historical visits for the members of the royal of the ruling family here in Kuwait to Scotland, and their visits, it's come a part of the history, and it's come an important stations of the long hour history between the two countries.
Which visit was the most talked about?
It's the most important visits in our whole history. The first Kuwaiti visit, United Kingdom. He was Sheikh Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. It was in 1919. He's visiting United Kingdom in behalf of his uncle, his ruler, Sheikh Salim Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah, to congratulate for the King George V of the victory of the First World War. And after he spent a couple of days in London, he's traveling to Scotland, and he was the first Kuwaiti visiting Scotland, and he was have a tour in Glasgow, and he visited many places. He's visiting the trade office, the museums, universities, and his departure the United Kingdom through Edinburgh port, and he's coming back to Kuwait. And also he's visiting Sheikh Ahmed Al-Jaber in Glasgow, the Royal Air Force runway, and he have taken a very lovely couples of photos, and he's sitting in the First World War planes in Glasgow. I think this is the first Kuwaiti visiting Edinburgh, in Scotland in general, and Glasgow especially. He was the Sheikh Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. And after we have a second official visit of the late Sheikh Nasser Sabah Al-Ahmed, when he's met King Charles III when he was Prince of Wales in Domover House, and they have a lovely chat and lovely exchange about the culture's idea, and talk about the two interests about the two royals. So
the trip or the visit to Edinburgh is historically significant.
Yep.
And it is considered a milestone between both families.
Yes, yes. And now the third officially visits for His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah to Scotland as the first Emir of Kuwait. He's visiting Scotland, and I think just if you mention this is a huge important point for this visit, and I'm sure there is a very much of the positive reflects. We will see it in the next few days.
Inshallah. Mr. Isa, let's pause here and take a quick break, and we'll continue more about the subject. Stay tuned.
In support of the Kuwaiti-British relations and strategic partnership, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, visits Scotland and the United Kingdom in response to a private invitation from His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Welcome back to tonight's special coverage of His Highness the Emir, may Allah protect him and bless him's visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III. Now we are joined by Dr. Saeed Shahata, a respected professor in Middle East politics and international relation based in the United Kingdom. His expertise in dynamics of the region and international relation will provide us with valuable insights to His Highness the Emir's visit to the UK. Dr. Shahata, first of all, thank you for being with us here today.
My pleasure.
Kuwait and the United Kingdom share a long history of diplomatic ties dating back to the 19th century. How have these relations evolved over the years, and what key events have shaped the partnership?
The historical relations between the two countries even dated back to the 18th century. In 1793, British merchants opened offices in Kuwait, and in 1821, the Eastern Indian Company, which is a British company, moved its headquarters from Basra to Kuwait because of problems with the Ottoman at that time. Then the main pillar of the historical relations in 1899, when the Anglo-Kuwait agreement was signed. So the British were supporting and helping Kuwaiti against any greed, attention, or move by other countries to attack Kuwait. So it was like a good relationship based on this agreement in 1899. Then it moved after that to the Declaration of Independence in 1961. And then the pillar of the relationship between the two countries came in the liberation of Kuwait. And at the time, the then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher played a leading role in to make a coalition and to secure a Security Council resolution to liberate Kuwait. They did very good job to support Kuwait, and they consider Kuwait as a friend, a partner, ally. So they did a big role in moving and mobilizing the international community with other countries to liberate Kuwait. So the relationship go after that, relationship based on mutual benefit and respect, where there is many aspects of like cooperation, security, economy, trade, and one of the main trademark of that was the opening the Kuwait Investment Office in 1953, and even before Kuwait was as an independent state. So the relationship between them went from strength to strength. It's based on mutual respect, and even they called 2024 marking the 125 years of relationship between them since 1899 as the year of partnership. Partnership means equal footing, means respect, means mutual benefit, means dialogue between the two countries. They moved from counter-terrorism, coalition against Daesh or the so-called Islamic State, to defeat terrorism and other aspects of cybersecurity, so they went from politics to economics to other areas. And the visits of His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al-Jabr Al-Subah, it's the top of the iceberg. It's it shows how the big and the strong relationship between them. And Queen Elizabeth II visited Kuwait, and many emirs before visited UK. So there is respect with these two countries. And when the head of the country visits another country based on invitation from the head of the country, which in this case His Majesty King Charles III, so it means the respect, the strength, and even all aspects of relationship going from strength to strength. And this shows how this historical relationship between them, it's very strong, and it can help to be as a model for other bilateral relationship between other countries.
Dr. Shahata, when we talk about partnership, from the Anglo agreement all the way to the East Indian Company and now the 125 years of partnership, what are the current trends when we talk about economic collaboration? Are there specific sectors where you see there's potential growth?
First of all, the trade volume between the two countries increased in 2024 to 5.9 billion pounds. This increase of about 15% compared to 2023. This, it shows like the trade between the two countries is getting from strength to strength. The partnership on economic, like importing and exporting, is increasing from time to time. The sectors, there is many sectors. There is construction sectors, there is food security sectors, there is technology, green technology, there is sustainable development, there is humanitarian projects where like recently the joint funding between UK and Kuwait for UNICEF for 4.5 million pounds to help the humanitarian situation in Gaza and Yemen and in other areas of like security, what is the training and equipment and helping the Kuwait to improve the defense system with the partnership between them. In addition to that, there is a way of like talking about the artificial intelligence when the current British government put heavy weight for the artificial intelligence for the economic growth, because when we talk about food security, it is one of the main fields where can the two countries go from strength to strength using the technology in order to increase the productivity of food, because the world face food insecurity in some parts of the world, and the technology it's needed. In addition to that, there is collaboration between them regarding climate change problems, regarding environment. So there is different aspect in education. There is like many people come to be educated here in UK, and there is some improvement in like education systems through helping of expertise. There is also expertise from UK helping the civil service in Kuwait. So there is many aspects on trade level and security level, on green technology, climate change, food security, humanitarian projects. So there is several aspects to increase from strength to strength. And as I said, the trade volume increased in 1 year, 2024, compared to 2023 by about 15%. So it shows there is big avenues, and the help will be the Kuwait Investment Office, which control and manage about $250 billion, and they have investment in Britain, $42 billion. This increased from 2003 compared to 2023 from 9 to 42 billion dollars. So it means there is trust, and even when you open the first Kuwait Investment Office in Britain, it means there is trust between Kuwait and Britain. There is trust about the possibility of using the avenues in Britain to make more investment for Kuwait. So there is a lot of aspects in different sectors to increase and using the new technology, especially the artificial intelligence, in order to increase many things, which using the same resources, but to have like abundance of productivity output of that.
Dr. Saeed Shahata, Professor in Middle East Politics and International Relations, we appreciate your input. We also had the pleasure of speaking with His Excellency Ambassador of the State of Kuwait to the United Kingdom, Badr al-Munayh, and here is what he had to say.
The 1899 treaty that was signed between Kuwait and the United Kingdom, or what they call it, the Anglo-Kuwaiti Treaty. And we have to note here that this is not the start of the relation between the United Kingdom and Kuwait. The relation between the two countries goes as far as the 18th century. The second milestone, it would be establishing the Kuwait Investment Office in London in 1953. And that's prior to our independence in 1961. So to establish such an office in London in 1953, that gives you an indication how the deep thinking, the deep vision of our founding fathers to establish such an important financial office in London at that time, which is now considered one of the main pillars of the relation between Kuwait and the UK. The third landmark, without a doubt, would be the 1999 Iraq invasion on Kuwait. The firm stand of the UK at that time to denounce the invasion, and the firm stand of Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister at that time, to lead a coalition to liberate Kuwait with the US. It's one of the important era of the relation, and this is something we cherish, we respect, and we appreciate of the UK.
Welcome once again to this tonight's coverage of His Highness the Emir, may Allah protect and bless him, visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III. So with us in the studio is Mr. Isa Deshti, a distinguished researcher in Kuwaiti-British relation. After listening to Dr. Saeed Shahata and Kuwait's ambassador to the UK, let's talk more about the future prospect of Kuwaiti-British relation. How, what long-term opportunities for collaboration between Kuwait and the United Kingdom do you foresee following this visit?
Always for our future relation between the two countries, I can see a bright future between the two countries, because from the beginning the two countries, they are cooperate together and help each other to continue this relation and not a temporary relation. When they are putting the first stone between the two relation, we are putting for the long life relation between the two countries. As the Dr. Shahata and His Excellency the Kuwaiti ambassador, they are like what they are saying, we have like the strong and strength relations and very important milestones through all these years from the beginning of the 18th century to this time. And one of the important results for this long history, this is the private invitation for His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, and this is now the second private invitation from His Majesty King Charles, and this is the private invitations and the official visits for the fourth time for His Highness the Emir. That's showing how we are our relation, it's strength and strong.
We talked a little bit earlier about the first visits to Scotland. The first visit was 1919. You mentioned earlier. Yeah. Let's tell me more. Anything happened before that time?
Of course, there is many things happened between the 1919. The 1919 is an important year for our relation, for the first visits of the Kuwait mission or the Arab mission, or the first Kuwaitis was His Highness the Sheikh Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. But before that, we have many important milestones like the 1899 for the Anglo-Kuwaiti agreement, and this is not the first also agreement, this is the second agreement between the two countries. But why it is famous, because this is the most important agreement that signing between the seventh ruler of Kuwait, Sheikh Mubarak Al-Sabah, and Her Majesty Queen Victoria government, the British government in India. And this agreement, it was why it's important, because it's the beginning of the official diplomatic relation. But we have the first agreement between the two countries, it was in 1841 between the Kuwaiti ruler and the British government, and this is the first agreement. It's to give the secure and protect the sea and the ships trade in the Gulf, and also the most important years that happening in the beginning of our relation in 1775, when the British politic agents and East Indian Company, the British one, it's come from the Lisbon, they are transferred their headquarters to Kuwait for 2 times, and because they are searching for a safe country. So our relation, that meaning start from 250 years, and we are start our relation through the postal service. When the post service line it's changed, that the British post come from the Gulf and it's go to the Zubair, and after for the rest of world, and it's changed. It's come from the Gulf to the Kuwait, and Kuwait from Halab, and Halab from the rest of world. And this is the post line. It was the beginning of our relation, our commercial relation, our trade relation. When it happened, the East Indian Company his office, and the British politic agent in Zubair and Basra, it's come here in Kuwait in 1775 for the first time, and for the second time in 1793. That's our pride's history between the two countries. That's when we read our history from 1775 to 2025, many of cooperation and many of tests happen for the two countries. When we are see in 1961 also, when we are independent from Britain, after a 1 week, the Britain force, they are returned to Kuwait to protect Kuwait for the border problem. And we can see also the main and the major role that playing by the late Queen of United Kingdom and the Prime Minister John Major or Margaret Thatcher of the British government, when they are stand with Kuwait and stand with the Kuwaiti people in 1919 in the invasion. And many milestones between through this long great relation between this and this country. And we are lucky this year and this days we are live and to see this one of the most important visits for His Highness the Emir to Scotland. And this is one of the most important stations that will give a great support to continue our relation.
Last year we celebrated 125 years of cooperation, but as you said, we go back to more than 250 years of actual partnership. Well, on that note, let's check this report out that dives into the dynamic and evolving relations between Kuwait, Scotland and the United Kingdom. From centuries of shared history to modern day partnership, this report will shed light and highlight on the strong bonds that connect these nations. Stay tuned.
Tonight we delve into the evolving relations between the state of Kuwait and Scotland with the broader United Kingdom. This multi-faced partnership rooted in history has grown to encompass diplomacy, trade, education and cultural exchange. Let's explore the key milestones and modern-day dynamics of these relations. The foundations of Kuwaiti-British relations date back to the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899. Britain provided security and trade protection for Kuwait during a time of regional instability. This alliance laid the groundwork for enduring ties between Kuwait and the United Kingdom. While the broader UK has engaged with Kuwait on diplomacy and defence, Scotland has carved a unique role within this partnership. Scottish universities such as the University of Edinburgh and the University of Glasgow have become leading destinations for Kuwaiti students pursuing higher education in medicine, engineering and business. In energy, Scotland's expertise in renewable technology and offshore oil complements Kuwait leadership in petroleum production. Collaborative projects aim to address global energy challenges while fostering sustainable development. Today, Kuwait's investment footprint is evident across the UK, including Scotland. Sovereign funds from Kuwait have backed significant infrastructure projects and revitalized key sectors from real estate to retail. Similarly, British companies have expanded operations in Kuwait, contributing to a growing bilateral trade volume. Scotland's renowned exports in Kuwait markets, symbolizing the growing cultures and commercial ties between the two regions. Education and culture remains pillars of this partnership. Thousands of Kuwaitis have studied in Scotland, forming lifelong connections. Cultural events such as the exhibitions and exchange programs further deepen mutual understanding and appreciation. Despite global challenges, the Kuwaiti-UK partnership continues to evolve, addressing issues such as climate change, regional stability, and economic diversification. Both nations see opportunities to strengthen ties further through innovation and collaboration.
Welcome back to tonight's special coverage of His Highness the Emir. May Allah protect and bless his visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III. We're now going to shift gears and dive into some more personal insight from our guest in the studio, Mr. Isa Dashti. As a researcher in Kuwaiti-British relation, what excites you the most about this visit?
See, as a researcher, any events or any actions that happen between the Kuwait and relation, it's my job to document this one through the books, lectures, exhibitions, to showing for the social, and also the most important thing to document this events in a book to keep it for the future and the future generations to read and to know more about our relation. And from today, from His Highness or before His Highness traveling, I'm starting to document this important visit from the beginning, when the Duke of Edinburgh he's giving the invitation for the Emir in December. I starting to document this visit. I think in the future days we can see the result of this visit, and I think we will see a very happy things between the two countries that will cooperation, especially in the culture part, that will showing in the next days. And this is one of, like I told you, one of the most important visits between the two countries, because it's the first Emir, as Emir, he's visiting Scotland, and the fourth visits in a very few years for His Highness the Emir to United Kingdom. Yes. And that's showing how the Emir he's committed about this relation, and he's by personally he's visiting this country for four time at least in 2 years. Yes. And that's showing how our partnership with the United Kingdom, it's important to our countries. Right, we are not sharing a board with the United Kingdom, but we are sharing many things with the United Kingdom, more than the politic and more the defense cooperating, and more than the cooperation, commercial cooperation. Yes. We have our cooperation in culture, in social, and in many different things in our life. It's give directly and indirectly support for our relation.
I want to go back to something important. I think it's important that you mentioned that you are documenting. Now I want you to tell me in a little bit more details. You started documenting this trip back when the Duke of Edinburgh,
yes,
gave the official invite to His Highness the Emir. Where does Isa play a role in documenting, and you document it, and how do you showcase your archive?
Yes, for the documentary work, it's not that easier thing, because now you want to document all the things and all what happened and related with this visits or any visits. So you should be updating for all the sources, like for the libraries, the news, the press, the press agents in the two countries. You should following by the details, and also you can do your personally job for traveling, asking about the details of this visit or for any visits, and after that the visit in the result you can have a huge archive you are collecting, and I analyzes this archive and preparing as a book and as exhibition, as a lecture. And from the last visits, I have worked with the National Council of Art and Literature, and I have published more than 31 documentary book about the two relation between the two countries. And it's my pleasure now that I am, and my honor to work and to document this visit of His Highness the Emir to United Kingdom, especially in Scotland.
I know you're traveling tomorrow to continue this, but from your perspective, what makes the Kuwaiti, UK, Scottish relationship unique and valuable?
Many things. When you see our history, it's 250 years. It's not easy that you have a strong and special relation continuous for 250 years. I'm always saying our relation between Kuwait and United Kingdom is unique, and I think our relation with the United Kingdom, a great example that we are showing how the real cooperating between the two countries through the 200 years, many royal visits, many emir visits, many state visits, many agreements signed between the two countries, and all now we are see the results that we are living here the life for our cooperating, for our development in different fields in our life and our life work. That's the most important things when you are see for the full photo of our relation between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and North Ireland and all the different areas in this great friendly country.
Mr. Isa, let me just take a quick break and we'll continue with our final questions. Stay tuned.
Today we take a closer look at the long-standing and ever-evolving relations between Kuwait and the United Kingdom. This partnership, spanning over 2 centuries, remains a cornerstone of diplomatic, economic, and cultural collaboration. Let's dive into the history and current dynamics of Kuwaiti-British relations. Kuwait and Britain's official relationship began with the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899, where Britain pledged to protect Kuwait in exchange for exclusive trading and political rights. This marked the beginning of a strategic alliance that would later play a pivotal role in Kuwait's history. In 1961, Britain supported Kuwait in declaring its independence, standing firm against territorial claims by neighboring Iraq. The UK's commitment to Kuwait's sovereignty solidified a bond of trust and cooperation. Fast forward to today, Kuwait and the UK maintained strong economic ties. Trade between the two nations has flourished, with Kuwait investing heavily in the UK's real estate, financial sectors, and infrastructure projects. Meanwhile, British exports to Kuwait continue to grow, ranging from technology to luxury goods. On the defense front, the partnership remains robust. The UK has been a key ally in providing military training and advanced equipment to Kuwait. Joint exercises and security collaborations reinforce this critical dimension of their partnership. The cultural exchange between Kuwait and the UK is another vital aspect, from educational programs that sees thousands of Kuwaiti students studying in the UK to art exhibitions showcasing Kuwaiti heritage in London. The relationship is much about people as it's about the policies. Kuwait values its partnership with the United Kingdom. Together, we address global challenges, promote regional stability, and enhance our mutual prosperity. As Kuwait and the United Kingdom continue to strengthen their relationship, their shared history and vision for the future highlight the enduring importance of this alliance.
Well, before we let our special guest leave, final question, Mr. Isa. If you could choose one message for the British and Scottish people about Kuwait, what would it be?
Our relation is unique. Our relation is like high value jewelry, and we should keep safe and protect this unique jewelry. That's our relation for our future, for our next generation future, like that's done our great grandfathers and our fathers when they are work together to support this relation. Our rule now these days we are support this relation in different fields. We are give it this relation for the next generation safely, and they are continuous the way for our relation.
Mr. Isa Deshti, researcher in British-Kuwaiti relation, it's been a pleasure having you here with us in the studio.
Thank you, it's my honor.
Thank you for sharing your valuable
very
insights, and we look forward to seeing how fruitful this visit
Inshallah.
folds out. Well, that brings us to the end of this special coverage of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Sabah. May Allah protect and bless his visit to the United Kingdom at the personal invitation of His Majesty King Charles III. Special thanks to all our guests and experts who joined us tonight, and to you, our viewers, for staying with us as we explore this significant milestone in Kuwaiti-British relation. Thank you. Until next time, good night.